At the surface of the ocean, the water pressure is the same as the air pressure above the water, 15 pounds per inches squared. Below the surface, the water pressure increases by 4.34 pounds per inches squared for every 10 feet of descent. So we want to express the water pressure as a function of the depth below the ocean surface. Well, the first thing is we need to take a look at what is given. So what is given is that we can see that there is the change in pressure over the 10 feet change in descent or in depth. Now, the change in pressure, which is below the surface, the water pressure is increasing by 4.34 pounds per inches squared. So we have 4.34, and it's going to be divided by the 10 feet change in depth. So we end up getting 0.434. And so this is going to represent our slope. So now let's define our variables. So we're going to let P be the pressure and D is going to be the depth. So from here, we can figure out, okay, well, we have an ordered pair. So we have the depth and then the pressure. Now, do we have a given point? Well, we do, because at the beginning it says, at the surface of the ocean, the water pressure is the same as the air pressure above the water, which is 15 pounds per inches squared. So that means that when the depth is 0, then the pressure is 15 pounds per inches squared. So we have this point. So now what we can do is we can use the point slope form. So P minus P1, which is equal to M times D minus D1. So let's plug in what we know. We know that P1 represents 15. We know that our slope is 0.434 times D minus depth 1 is 0. So we have P minus 15, which is equal to 0.434D, and therefore P is going to equal 0.434D plus 15. So therefore we express the water pressure as a function of the depth below the ocean surface. Now in part B, it's asking us at what depth is the pressure 100 pounds per inches squared. So that's telling us that P is equal to 100, and we want to be able to solve for the depth. So in our formula, our function P, which is equal to 0.434D plus 15, we're going to replace P to be 100 and solve for D, which is the depth. We subtract 15 to both sides and we get 85, which is equal to 0.434D. Okay, so in order to solve for D, I'm going to divide both sides by 0.434. So therefore, D is going to be approximately 195.85 feet when the pressure is 100. So therefore, we can say, thus, the pressure will be 100 pounds per inches squared when the depth is approximately 196 feet.